but boy, I wasn't. I had just painted my my front bumper, and I was all set for it. I was gonna put the bumper extensions back on and everything for winter, but boy, I saw this. It was at a good price. I couldn't deny it. I've always wanted one of these. Pretty much this style is pretty much what I like. This kind of front bumper. I believe this is a Smittybilt 2 front bumper. I'm not sure what the exact model type or number is, but yeah, this thing, for the price, like I said, I couldn't go wrong. I saw it. I saw it today. I was like, you know what? I can't turn this down. I gotta at least try. I went up there. It was, this is in great shape. The Wrangler it came off of, though, whew, had a horrible frame. Hadn't seen one quite that bad before. I mean, it was bad, but yeah, this is cool. It's got the, it's got, I think, 4 light mounts on it, so you could get 4 lights if you were all about that. It is an off-road bumper. Granted, I obviously don't have plans to go off-road at least anytime soon, but yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. But I'm not just gonna stare at it here. I'm gonna go ahead and take my factory one off, and I'm gonna put this one back on, or on for the first time, and we're gonna see how that looks. Wow, what a difference, right? I mean, talk about giving it a real rugged look. I mean, this doesn't look like my Jeep. I mean, I'm not even kidding. This doesn't look like my Jeep anymore. Just looking at it from the front with the guards, the inserts, wow, this just does not look like my Jeep. The old bumper, I mean, is nothing compared to this. I mean, even if you got the lights on it and stuff, I mean, it's nothing compared to this. Now, I know there's a lot of bumpers out there, and you can tell this is a Smittybilt because I hadn't asked, but I assumed that it went with the factory screws for the front bumper would work, and it did. Now, this thing is heavy. This thing is it's pretty rugged. So if you're looking for something sturdy, like this thing weighs I don't know, maybe 40 pounds or so. It's sturdy, it's heavy, it's rock solid. Just looking at this one in particular because it is used and it did come off of a banged up Jeep. Not banged up, but the frame was dying. A couple spots here, nothing too big. I'm gonna either PR-15 these, probably just PR-15 these before winter, and then next year paint it. And/or, considering I really like the texture that's on it right now, it's a really like smooth, but like a bit of a texture on it. I really like it. And I might end up bedlining this or painting it the same way I painted that. This would come out so much better because I don't have to deal with the Crayola crayon crap, which will never get old. But this thing is nice. This thing is really nice. So I'll be sure to, in the title of this video, to look up exactly what model type this is. I know it is, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't want to speak incorrectly. Though I did notice it almost looks like it's missing something here. You can kind of tell that there are outlines of something that might have been here for the second hole, because the stock bumper just goes right on, and both these screws go into the holes. And it almost looks, it's weird that they wouldn't just make it just the metal just a little bit longer. And that's kind of how you know it's Smittybilt, because they seem to make good stuff, but there's always something wrong. Like with these lights and like my tail lights one, the screws not fitting that they send the same screws every time to everybody, and they don't actually work, which is just weird. It's kind of like, you guys can't just get the right kind of screws. And it seems like this is either, like I'm saying, it's either because you can see these outlines here, so it's either missing, I'm either missing a piece that went over this, or something did go over this, but it's not even part of the bumper at all. It might have been, something else completely. Not that I can't, find myself a piece of metal to actually, like, so the second screw would be, screwed on more, which I'll look into. But right now I got these 2 top ones here screwed in real tight, and I got the bottom ones in really tight, and those lined up pretty much perfect. And I can give it a good shake, and the whole Jeep is shaking, so I know it's not just gonna come off. And granted, this is mainly for looks. This might turn to something more. Like, obviously most people would get this because you can mount a winch. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 places for lights, so you can get 4 lights. You can get the lights. I mean, you can get all kinds of lights on this, which is what's cool about this. A cool thing for me would be to get something to actually, that's actually would have been here, something to mount lights. No, that wouldn't make any sense because they would just go right here. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, let me know. I'm not familiar with what these could be. I mean, for me, I'll probably just end up getting a piece of metal just to, like I said, hold it down together more. But I'm just gonna, tighten these down. But boy, this thing looks good. Like, yeah, if you're looking for something to, a sturdy front bumper, this thing could definitely take a couple hits. It'd be all right. It'd probably, if you ran into something, not going too fast, this would probably save your grill. Yeah, it is nice. It is really nice. I'm gonna be able to see it from the top when I'm sitting in. And that's what most people say, it's kind of a head turner, what I mean? If you got something like this, definitely, I mean, it's a gigantic improvement from the the stock bumper look. I really, really like it. So if I picked this up, like I said, I got it for a good price, so I can't complain. I mean, that's why I got it. I wouldn't have picked this up if it was a, you know, normal price, but this is a good price. It wasn't too far. Boy, this wasn't like, this was kind of like a treat to myself, because this is not something I was planning on getting potentially ever. So this is really cool. You know, if you've seen pictures, if you see this, you like what you see. It's got these two, which I'm not sure exactly everything you can do with it. The only thing I can think of is like on the YJ there, we got the mounts for the plow, and I don't know if you could mount like a small plow or something on here, but you got these two. So this thing is definitely built for off-road, for tough, for work, for whatever you need it for. This thing can pretty much accommodate you. But for me, I might, you know, get something here to like maybe make a little storage or something. I don't know. I was thinking about getting lights, but I really wanted lights for my hinges because I like those best. But just for looks, like this is good with me. This is, compared to that, this is insanely better. So I'm gonna, boy, I really it's just starting to look real. I can't wait to compare it to what it looked like a year ago. I'm getting close. Next month will be a year. But I mean, this doesn't even look the same. You know what I mean? It doesn't really look the same Jeep. I don't think the previous owner would recognize it. I mean, I hardly recognize it. So Smittybilt front bumper, really nice. Already love it.